Hi everybody, this is Odd Samurai and today I'm going to be reacting to One Piece chapter 1155. And before I even get to talking a little bit about 1154, I did notice that Harold was helping or passing through a place that looks like the entrance to Wano in 1153. I think it was like page 14? Yeah, like the beginning of it. It looks like right before getting to like the Koi waterfall. So I just wanted to let you know. I did see that. I just, are we gonna get something in relation to that? I don't know. But yeah, I know. Okay, so 1154. Let's see. Right. Yeah, the starvation with the winter. Then more of a street being terrible. Well, you know what? Not even being a mother. Yeah, just a lot of chaos while Harold was not around. Then someone tries to kill Loki. Not Loki. Hydrogen. But it was because of Loki. Another reason to have Hydrogen have a resentment towards him. Even if Loki didn't do anything, just the way people demonize Loki and that affecting the Hydrogen negatively. Harold comes back and saves Hydrogen and Ida. And he's like, yeah, while I was gone, I was making negotiations and just asking for aid with other countries, and they were all good with that. They're literally outside the island waiting to give us the food and everything. But things were about to get very dire if he arrived just a little bit later. Then Astrid dies. Harold cries. I'm just, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because I don't think he was ever told how horrible Astrid was. But he had Loki in his arms once, and then we don't see it again. So yeah, Harold may be a good king, but man, he's really lacking as a father. Just outside of this panel, it does seem like he rarely saw Loki. And even with Hydrogen, like it just seems like he just visited him occasionally. Like that's just straight up neglect. Like no other way to put it. And like just leaving him with Astrid's brother, like I don't know, we can say that, oh, maybe Astrid's brother was acting like really polite and kind in front of Harold, but once Harold is not around, he just, shows what he really thinks about Loki. But I'm still so frustrated that Harold would live in with him instead of someone as loving and caring as Ida. I just, you know, Harold is a little complicated. I just wish we spent more time with him to be like, why does he do this and that? Because right now, like, you know, sure, he can be a very flawed parent, but you know, is the story just showing him as is, you know, letting the audience come to their own conclusion, or are we supposed to think like, no, he's a good dad, it's just, you know, he has a few blind spots here and there. I'm not sure how the narrative is painting him right now, but I don't think he's a good parent. Like, not really. You know, like, sure, he has to do those king things, but you cannot expect me to call him a good dad if he never spends time with his children. Anyway, then we got the mention of the Galila band. So, very similar to with the Water 7 Galila, but they're giants, so obviously gotta be from way back. But maybe the Water 7 Galila shipwrights were inspired by these ones, since these ones were also shipwrights. Well, they must have been like from way back, since even Harold thinks they're a myth. I wonder if Jarrow met them. And the only thing I could think of in the first read, I was like, oh, I wonder if the frozen straw hat in Marijua belonged to one of them. Maybe? But no, I saw a lot of people being like, no, actually, this gotta be the giants that were frozen in Punk Hazard. And I completely forgot about those. It's been so long since I first watched Punk Hazard, and I know, I'm sorry, but I have not read it. So, yeah. That tracks. But I highly doubt it was like, you know, someone from this era. It must have been someone from like at least like 200 years ago who froze them? Unless it was like an accident. You think the world government did that? It's clear they had a great enemy at some point in the past, but all that history sunk under the sea one day. Maybe they're from the Void Century. Although Gerald doesn't say specifically how long ago they were alive. An army of giants put on ice and hidden somewhere. That's, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, that's the bigger connection. Oh, yeah. More of Loki getting verbally abused by his uncle. Harold being a good king and not thinking about Loki at all. So now we do know that he was at fault for unleashing the beast in the village, which, like I said, I still believe he was so valid for that. Like, I do not you know, I'm like, oh, he's so cruel for that. Like, no, I understand. I totally understand. So then we have that fight slash argument between Hyrurin and Loki. And yeah, like, it's very important that what makes Loki hit him is that Hyrurin tells him he's not special. Now we know why Hyrurin is saying that, because it's coming from Ida's ideology that she imparted to Harold about, like, you know, don't think you're, just because you were born big doesn't mean that you're just so much better than everyone else. But what Loki hears is like, there's nothing special about you. But the only thing he has to cling to, the only thing he has, because he has nothing else, is his title of prince. I am special because I'm the prince. So don't ever talk back to me again, shrimp. And that coping mechanism still stays until like moments before Harold gets Domi reversing. I'd have to like check earlier chapters though. He might also still have that, but I'm not fully sure. But yeah, he's like, when he's like arriving to the castle and some like guard is like, oh, Loki, blah blah blah, and then Loki's like kicking him through the door and being like, I'm Prince Loki, get that right. So yeah, he's still clung to his title because it's the only thing that he can say is his. No love or affection from anyone. So that's what he decided to attach himself to really say, you know, that's who I am. Like, if you take that away from me, then I'm nothing, you know. He keeps hitting other kids. Gets scolded a little bit. And once again, he's like, he's the king's son as well. He's a prince. And Loki lashes out, and don't call him a prince. He cannot be a prince. That's the only thing that, you know, it's just mine and mine alone. Hyrurin has a loving mom. His dad obviously wanted him more than me. He cannot have this as well. But obviously, you know, that's all just for show. Because even as he hits and hurts others, he still cannot feel a hole at the center of his being. No matter how much he claims and boasts that he only wants destruction and be recognized as a leader, what he really wants is to be completely and fully accepted by someone. Otherwise, he would not have tried to die here. And even admonishes himself for not even being able to die. Like, he sees that as another failure. I'm gonna... If I keep talking about this, I'm just gonna get emotional again. Then as he's still crying, the rock spires show up. And interesting that the first... Now we hear his voice in in God Valley. But like, this is his proper first lines. He says, alright, Brad, you're gonna say yes twice, because that's the answer I want from these questions. So already not someone who has flexibility, and who thinks that the world must bend around him. That's the impression I got, my first impression of him. Question 1 is the Selvaf, Land of the Giants. Question 2 is Harold here. Like, even if, you know, like, no, Harold is not here, but he wants a yes to that answer, so what, does he want to lie? Yeah, I have good vibes from this guy, but like, should have expected that. Also, he killed a Navy headquarters admiral and fled from Reverie 8 years earlier. Like, what was Rox doing at Reverie? Well, we don't get his bounty, though. Father of Blackbeard, with a big space in between off and Blackbeard. Rox is a DC Vic. Alright, let's get to chapter 1155. So, oh yeah, the weekly Shonen Jump cover for this chapter, or rather for this week, is a celebration of One Piece's 28th anniversary. So congratulations to the series. It's so close to 30. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, yeah. Wait. It's almost the same age as me. Holy shit. My birthday is in September. Oh my god. I'm almost as old as One Piece. Anyway, the actual cover of the chapter is Luffy and Usopp hugging each other as Luffy's not bouncing around, but like, you know, using his arms to stretch. And that's cute. Nami hugging Jinbe, Brooke playing the violin, Robin and Frankie, Chopper close by, Sanji simping for Nami, and Zoro smiling, looking at Luffy and Usopp. Alright. Ooh. Yeah, I just kind of like didn't realize, but yeah, Loki doesn't have his bandages while meeting the Rocks pirates. Yeah, this is Elbaf, but my dad ain't here. He's on an expedition. Are you puny humans? I've never seen your kind before. You really do scurry around. Ha ha ha. Aw, you're adorable. Wait, did you say Dad? Are you Harold's kid? Chapter of the title, Rocks Pirates. Yeah, makes sense. Even on an expedition, you can still get in touch with them. What's your name? Loki. Okay, Loki, you're gonna do as I say. Go back home right now and get someone to contact your old man. Here's a message to tell them to pass on. This is interesting though. I thought Loki was gonna be a fan of Rocks before he ever like met him in person, but that's obviously not the case. Loki is gravely wounded. Return to Elbaf at once. Huh? Since when do I have to listen to what you humans have to say? Oh, I'm nervous. But, I mean, like, we already know that Rox almost kills the kid, but still. Plus, it's not like Dad would come back home just because I got hurt. Stop ordering me around, you little weakling. Oh, that's so sad. The fact that Loki's so aware of that. Harold would not come home just because he got hurt. Rox's sword attacks were famous for blasting everything in sight, like a gigantic hammer or cannonball. Well, that's gotta be Conqueror's hockey. Famous for blasting everything in sight. Okay. Ow! Yo, why is this grown-ass man attacking this child like this? Bohahaha. There. What did I just say? Look, he's gone and got him wounded. Yo, I need to work with Rox. I need someone to beat him up. I really... I'm gonna be waiting with excitement when we get to the full flashbacks of God Valley and Roger and Garp rocked his shit. How dare he? This madman had crossed Harold's path. I just saw the first few panels on the next page. At the river in 1 year. That's gonna be the year where Rox was there. 5 kings have been attacked and captured. It's an abduction. They were taken by a large man dressed in black. Okay. The lives of kings are no threat to Mu. Oh? No freaking way! Rock's so emo? Yo, this is huge. I suppose not, but your holy land is in a panic. You know, yo, how did Rox survive getting out of there? Hello? This is making me think like when Marco said about Blackbeard, like his body is not normal, and that's why he can eat 2 devil fruits. What if that's because he's related to Rox, and Rox's body was also peculiar in some way. In a historical anomaly never repeated before or since, someone infiltrated the chambers of flowers at the very core of the Holy Land. Oh. Yo, who is this? 80 years ago, right? 8 years before what's happening with Loki? I just realized, this page doesn't have the black borders of a flashback. Weird. That kind of looks like it could be Gunko. Yo, let me Google Gunko real quick and remind myself of how her eyes look. Kinda. Her what is this? Her right eye looks different. But yeah, with the, you know, the exact part of her face that's always covered with bandages, and this person does as well, except, you know, with a oh my god, what are they called? You know, ladies of religious faith, cloth, and longer hair, which, if I recall correctly, there was someone who had long hair on the flashback we saw with Brooke. Okay. That's crazy though. This is Gunko? She just, well, I was gonna say she's just chilling with Imu, but obviously it's not like they could ever be equals. She's obviously kneeling. And, you know, I feel like, well, I assumed anyway, that Gunko is a lot older than she seems because of her connection with Brooke, that she met him when he was alive. Okay. The man described himself as a worshipper of Davy Jones. He did not do anything more than this, as he knew he could not. Okay, he knew his limits. But before he departed, he left a warning. So, like, I was thinking, like, have we heard the name Davy Jones before? I can only think of Hody Jones. I will be back right here. Huh. Did he mean, like, physically? Oh, rather, like... like, did he think he was actually gonna come back as he looks here, you know? Or does he mean his will would come back? Like, say, Blackbeard. Not sure what he exactly meant by this. But it's definitely memorable. Naturally, words of this incident never saw the light of day. But as it happened, one other man infiltrated the Holy Land at the same time. That's gotta be Harold. Look at him, he's far bigger than a giant. I despise him for a slave. Oh, I desire him. No, he should be killed and stuffed for display. Guards, protect your leashes? Yep. Hot, 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 fine, the talks are off. They're burning him? I apologize for the trespassing, but is this really necessary? Don't let the king abductor get away. No, that wasn't me. Wasn't he, like, trying to pass as a, king guard? Oh. The admiral's been defeated. His attacker went to the palace. Be wary. Yeah. What is all of this hubbub about? Bring me the big one. He must be the one who kidnapped the kings. I'm not gonna be the fall guy. I'll seize him and... A giant in the Holy Land. A giant in the Holy Land. Is this guy lost or something? Okay. I doubt they talked. Whoa! Like, I know Harold said, I'll seize him, but seeing them clash still took me by surprise. That's such a cool panel. Yo. Rocks versus Harold. The clash between the strangers eradicated any sign of others for 5 kilometers around. Yeah, and I'm not sure about Harold. It seems like he's using it, but it seems like it's a clash of conquerors hacking. So any like people would just be getting knocked out left and right. Bohahaha, name yourself. Barahaha, I'm Harold. Oh, okay, they did talk. Well, they introduced themselves, but... I'm Rox. Aim at the town with the next blow. If they capture us, they'll turn you into a slave. What? Why? Don't think, just do it. Yeah. By saying, aim at the next town? Did he mean, like... Did he use his sword to, like... throw rocks like a baseball into... I mean, they're at the red line. What could be the next... aim at the town with the next blow. Yeah. Oh, no, wait. Not the next town. Just, you know, another part of Marija. Got it. So, okay. Which way is Elbeth? The New World's that way. Bohahaha. If you survive, let's meet again, Harold. So Rox took a liking to Harold, but he would still injure his kid to meet him. Never! I don't consort with villains. What? You jumped off! Okay, well, Harold said, actually, no, I don't wanna hang out with you. The Navy Admiral that Rox had just struck down perished of his wounds despite emergency measures. After his many crimes of the day, Rox's name was launched into infamy, and his deed stunned the rest of the world. So let's see how he became famous. Hell, we don't even know if he was a pirate before this. Or if he even had a bounty. Yeah, of course that would get you a bounty. I just wish we got to see how high it was. Sometime later, he attacked a ship laden with heavenly tributes en route to sacred Maritua. Not only that, he destroyed the Gate of Justice and fled once again. What? With the ship and money as an initial base to work from, Rox dove into the pirating business. He destroyed the Gate of Justice. Which one? I guess it doesn't matter, but that's still kind of crazy. No, it is crazy. Remember how, I think it was Saboti? Either Saboti or Enies Lobby. Like, it was such a big thing that pirates were going explicitly directly against the world government. Like, that's just not a thing that happens. And then Rox was just doing stuff like this. Now, we don't know his intentions, but he was doing it. His activities were always hostile towards the government. Always. Huh. Yeah, okay. But his first target was actually another pirate ship. Okay. I mean, unlike the way Rox treated Loki, but I do like how much he went against the world government. Yeah, surely at some point we're gonna get to know more of him as a character. This is just, you know, the narrator telling us about him. In the pirating world, there had long existed a famous and merciless game played between crews. Oh yeah? The Davy Back fight! See, I was thinking about it, but I was like... let me not say it and then look goofy if it's not the case. Because I was like, merciless? I guess, you know, if you've only seen Foxy doing the Davy Back fight, that's a very different impression. It consisted of various competitions in which pirates gambled the fate of crewmates and flags. Rox made good use of this game to assemble a very solid lineup for himself. Wait, so did he have any crewmates before engaging in the Davy Back fights? They got someone amazing. You guys are gonna be shocked. Okay. At this point, his motley crew of miscreants flew no flag. Huh. And that was when they arrived at Elbaf. That's it. Interesting. Oh, yo, we're getting so much Rox lore. Not character insight, but lore. Although we were getting like hints in there what he was about with the, few lines of dialogue he's had. But definitely really want to know why he was, so hostile towards the world government. Like, you think someone that does that would be more kind-hearted? But, not necessarily. I mean, a Blackbeard, how would you say, like what he did with the world government of like becoming a warlord and then turning against them for his own gain? So that might be similar to this. He doesn't do it out of like empathy for what the world government does to civilians, but simply because they're on his way towards his goals. But it just seems very targeted, but it could just be like, oh, the world government is at the top of, they're the ones who rule everything. And he's aware of Emu. Now we don't know if he had suspicions before he saw Emu himself. But, I'm thinking like, oh, I'm gonna come back here, I'm gonna kill you, and then I'll be the one who rules the whole world. Maybe? Aight. Aura's Castle, Elbaf. I hurried back as soon as I could, but you're already nearly healed up? What a relief. Oh, okay. I wonder how long he took. I know you're a very strong boy, Loki, but you should stay away from the underworld. Oh my god, Harold has no idea how he ended up in the underworld. He doesn't know anything about him. You're lucky you only fell from a cliff this time. Yeah? He just fell. It was not on purpose, not at all. There are plenty of other dangers that could befall you there. No, I cannot believe that actually came back. That was just a coincidence, right? He wouldn't come back to see me. I thought I was not gonna cry this chapter. What the hell is this? It's just one panel. No, boy, baby boy Loki. He cannot believe that his dad would be here for him. Harold has ignored him so long for so often that Loki is like, oh, surely it's gotta be a coincidence. He's not here for me. Ah, god damn it. Rux, I've heard all about your exploits. What are you doing here? I've been dying to see you, pal. You should join me, Harold. The world's government not gonna hear you out anyway. Didn't you learn that lesson last time? Nonsense. The day I team up with a band of infamous rogues like you is the day our allies lose all faith in us. Gee ha ha ha, appreciate the feast. So that's the King of Elbaf. He's huge. So, Okay, there's other characters that I don't recognize. But there's a Stussy, Buckingham, Shaky, Whitebeard. Wanna say one of this is probably like, I don't remember the other name, but like, Wangji Ochoku, I think. You know, the guy that was in charge of Fulalet before Blackbeard. What? So you'd rather go ground beneath the world government's heel? I'm looking for a way to avoid that. We ought to be equals, every one of us. Now you're talking nonsense, Harold. Elbaf is a nation of all mighty warriors. Anything you don't like, you can just smash to bits. Yeah, that tracks with what we've seen on rocks. That's ancient history. Elbaf is changing. People's nature doesn't ever change. I know that fighting blood in your veins is bubbling over. Okay, so already I feel like that's very indicative of Rox's view in life. People's nature doesn't ever change. Can't we at least eat in peace? You people follow this man, only disaster awaits you. Follow? This fool? Gee ha ha ha, don't make me laugh. We're all the individuals. Very Blackbeard crew. If Rox dies, it won't affect the rest of us in the least. We're not a group of friends. We're just people, using each other for our own goals. Mobster? Right? Shiki, future Golden Lion. That's true, but his plan is very appealing to me. We're set to make a killing. Science robber? Miss Buckingham Stussy. His plan. What was his plan? You know about Fulalet? That island of exiles? They call it Pirate Island. They ship out all the hardened criminals there that countries cannot handle in their own prisons. Gangster of the West Blue. Don Marlon. I wonder if this guy was had anything to do with like Beji. It was supposed to be a deserted island without food where the damned simply wait to die. Byron Edward Newgate, future Whitebeard. But in recent years, they've survived and built up a settlement there. How do you think that happened? Oh, this is Wang Ji. Pirate Guru, future Commodore of Pirate Island. His design is not very, like, conventionally cool. But it's interesting. Kind of gives me, like, caribou, but like, a vampire. It turns out there's a gold lode under that island. When the criminal underworld found out, they rushed to help mine it, and the prisoners made themselves a fortune. The government seeing red. That's cool, lore about Hachinosu. Pirate smuggler, Gansui. This is new. This guy. Also, just interesting to see Whitebeard. How he acted when he was on Rox's crew. Like, with his personality, you'd think he'd be more conflicted about helping Rox, but hey, if he was stolen from another crew in a Davy Bag fight, then he seems to be the type to be like, okay, well, it was fair and square, so I'm staying with you for now. That island's crawling with vicious brigands. Get anywhere near and they'll rub you blind. So we made a deal with the government. I said to them, if we get that island back, how much will you give us? Oh, wait, what? So, he's not always hostile with the government if he can make a deal with them. If they're willing to pay us, sure. We'll go raid Pirate Island and split the treasure between us. But we ain't giving the government the island or the prisoners. Oh! So he's just playing them, basically. Making them think that's what he's gonna do. I don't know why the government would think he would keep his part of the deal, but I'm gonna roll over Fulad, and I'll get the idiots who live there to help me build a pirate's paradise. Can't ya just see the dumbfounded looks on the government and Navy's faces? Bahahaha. This is just the prologue to my life. Bet. With that island as my base, I'll wipe out the Navy and bring the whole land to its knees. In the end, I'll be the king of the world. Hey, see? I was on the right track. I got this guy's vibe. You're making an enemy out of the entire world. It's so much to handle. Go ahead and doubt me. Sooner or later, someone's gonna do it. Oh. Interesting. He doesn't seem that hung up on it being himself. There's no authority in the world that lasts forever. Let's go, Harold. If we team up, we're unstoppable. This is such a Blackbeard face. Face, obviously, but expression more so, I was thinking. There's no authority in the world that lasts forever. Definitely very, you know, like a, how should, you know, I don't think we've heard Blackbeard say this exact thing, but it seems very in line with his worldview and how much he parallels Luffy. Save your breath, I'm a king. You think I care? Let's go and take over the world. The world. Oh, Loki. And the next thing Loki knew, his outlook on life had been saved. Okay. 4 years later, after Harold ignored repeated invitations, Rox finally carried out his plan. Okay, the formidable lineup that joined him caused the world to quake with terror. Let's get going, boys. Sorry, I don't know why I said it like that. Okay. But what was his plan? Like, I don't think, like, you know, yeah, take over the world, but like, I guess my question is, you know, the plan would be, how do you do that? This was a really interesting chapter. My voice is close to giving out, but man, when I go back to the first page, like, I feel like there's basically the same amount of pages as usual, but the amount of information that we got, it was just that crucial to discuss for, you know, almost every page. Damn, yeah. I'm terrible at keeping a mental timeline in my head. So I'm definitely gonna have to like check exactly how long ago from the present the talk between the talk in the castle between Rox and Harold happens. But yeah, so the recent Loki got saved by Rox's approach to life. I think it's basically, well, if I'm the king of the world, then no one can ever treat me the way they've been treating me since I was born. That's what I get from it. It's basically his already, not very effective coping mechanism, but in a larger scale. Instead of just Prince Loki, if I become the ruler of the world, people will have to respect me and treat me with care. So yeah, that's still sad. That he thinks he needs to do all that to get unconditional love, because otherwise he's not getting it from his point of view. Because I think that Luffy can give it to him. Loki for Straw Hat. But yeah, like this is definitely like, oh, this is one way to get people to not treat me like trash, like the cursed child that only, like oh, they think I just bring ruin. Yeah, bet they'll see what, like basically like living up to the label that they've given him. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna leave it here for now. But yeah, really interesting stuff with Rox. And if I missed something, or there's like I see other people like, oh yeah, this insight that I missed, I'll talk about it next chapter. I think we're getting like a 2-week break, so it's gonna be a little bit before another video of this. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Till next time, see ya.